Alright y'all, this has been on here about 4 hours. We've reached 166 internal on the meat. Cooker's at 229, so we're probably going to have to stoke it up. So, let's take a look at this thing and see what it looks like, shall we? I haven't had this open in 4 hours. Looks like we got some good bark on there. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off of here and we're going to wrap it in some foil. Double wrap it. So I'm going to need to remove Hey everybody, Mike Chavez here once again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Alright y'all, been a while. Today, gonna do some North Carolina style pulled pork barbecue. So I got about a 9-pound pork butt behind me. Of course the pork butt is the upper part of the shoulder, not the lower part, the blade part of the shoulder of the hog. We're gonna rub it down. We're going to use some rub today. Now, you know I'm a loyal fan of Cosmo's Cube, but today I'm going to try this Killer Hogs barbecue rub. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I was in the Walmart the other day and I saw this in there and I've always wanted to try it out. I did a little taste test of it and it's actually pretty darn good. So I think this is from Malcolm Reed, How to Barbecue Right. Good. This looks like it's going to be some good stuff. So we're going to rub this down with the Killer Hogs barbecue, and we're going to cook this pork butt on the pit barrel cooker. I've never cooked a pork butt on the pit barrel cooker. I always use my pit barrel cooker for chicken and ribs. I think I've done some fish on it, and I think I've done some beef shanks on it, but this will be first time to do a pork butt on here, so I'm not sure how long this is going to take. We'll bring this up to a finished temperature of about 200 to 210 in there. So anyway, let's get this done. We're gonna get this rubbed down and we're gonna get the cooker fired up and get the pork butt out there. All right, so I'm gonna take this over to my sister-in-law's house tomorrow for Mother's Day, but we will do a taste test when we're done with this. So y'all stick around, check it out. Let's do it. North Carolina pulled pork. Let's do it. All right, so I got about a 9-pound pork butt. So this has got a substantial fat cap on it. We flip this over, if I can. It's well marbled, got a lot of fat inside. It's got a few little pieces here that I might get rid of, not too much. But what I will do, I'm going to go ahead and remove most of this fat cap. Now this one here looks like it might not be too bad. You don't need all this fat on here. This has got so much intramuscular fat, got so much fat interspersed in the meat, that this fat cap is not real necessary. So I'm going to trim most of this fat cap off. You can leave it on there if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. But what I'm going to do, like I said, is get most of it off. I'll leave a little bit on here. So that actually looks pretty good right there. We just got a little small thin layer left. Alright, to get this thing rubbed down, what I'm going to do, let me move this. We'll put a pan down. So for a binder today, you don't have to use any kind of binder. A lot of people like to use mustard. Mustard's good. But I have a spray bottle with some apple juice. So what I'll probably do, let's see, I'll probably cook this fat side, or fat cap side down. So spray this down. This is just a binder to help my rub stick. So let me get my rub here. Like I said, today using the Killer Hogs barbecue rub. All right. So we're gonna be really generous with this rub today. Both sides, rub it down good. This rub is going to help form our bark. I want a lot of bark on here, some good bark. I'm hoping this pit barrel should put some good bark on here. Get all sides. Of this pork butt with the spice rub on it. Actually, this Killer Hog smells really, really, really good. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Cosmos for most things, but we'll see how this Killer Hogs does. I'm sure this will be good. So here's our fat cap. I'll flip it back over. All right, looking pretty good. We'll let this rub sweat a little bit. We'll go outside, get the cooker fired up. All right, y'all. Back with the pit barrel. So let's get this thing set up. I'll bring you over here. So, for this pork butt, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my wood. So I got some pecan wood here. It's nice pecan wood. So, I'm going to go ahead and intersperse some wood. This is going to be a long cook, probably at least 10, possibly 12 hours. So let's put some wood down in there. Let me finish this bag of Kingsford up. All right. Get that tumbleweed out there, fire it up. All right. So we'll let these charcoals get fired up. These charcoals are lit. All right, put our charcoal basket on down in there. And dump our lit charcoals on there. Get our charcoal tongs. Spread these lit charcoals around. We got wood distributed inside them charcoals, so I'm going to put one chunk on there. Then we'll take our rack. Let's go ahead and get this thing preheated. So what I want to do, I want to kind of monitor my temperatures. So let's get the lid on there. We'll see how high this comes up. It should come up to about 275, something like that. So right now, see if we can get a connection. We're about 194. So I'm gonna let this come up to temp. We'll clean off that rack a little bit, put the pork butt on. All right, y'all. So it's sitting at about 284 right now. So it's going 270, 275 to 280. It'll stay under 300. So that's the way we're going to cook this pork butt. So I brought the pork butt out. So our rub has sweated nice, ready to go. All right. Get this out the way. Get my pork butt. Putting fat side down. Got my other temperature probe. I'll come in here. Get it inside. Go right in the middle. And try to stay off the bone. All right. Put our rebar back. Lid on. All right, looks good. Lid on. So we're gonna let this thing come up to about 165, 170 maybe. So right now it's sitting at 44. And I don't know how long that's going to take. 6 hours, 7 hours. Of course, with this thing up around 300 degrees, it may not take that long. So once we get it up to that temperature, we'll bring it out, wrap it in aluminum foil, and finish it up. So we'll see y'all in a little while. All right, y'all, this has been on here about 4 hours. We've reached 166 internal on the meat. Cooker's at 229, so we're probably going to have to stoke it up. So let's take a look at this thing and see what it looks like, shall we? I haven't had this open in 4 hours. Looks like we got some good bark on there. That's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off of here and we're going to wrap it in some foil, double wrap it. Alright, we'll pull the thermometer out, got the rebar out. Alright. There we go. Looks good, looks good. Bring this up. All right, nice and wrapped up. Get the meat back on. All right, we'll get the meat probe. Let's see. We're going to leave this on here until we reach about 210. We'll take it off, let it rest, and we'll pull it apart and taste. These have been on here for about 7 hours at close to 300 degrees. So the internal temp of the meat shows 208. So let's go ahead. We'll check it with a thermal pen. See how it feels. Yep, 208. Feels soft. Not a whole lot of resistance. Y'all, I think this is done. So, let's take this out. So, we'll set this in a pan. I'm going to take it in the house, put a towel over it, let it rest. Alright y'all, so let's make up some vinegar sauce to go with this pulled pork. So, we got our pork butt right here under a towel. It's been under there about an hour and a half or so. It's going to stay there for now. So let's come over to our pot here. Alright, so what we start off with, some apple cider vinegar. So we're going to put a cup of apple cider vinegar in a little pot here. About a quarter to a half a cup of white vinegar. We'll go with a half a cup of white vinegar. Alright. So we got some apple juice. This right here is 8 ounces of apple juice. So that's a cup apple juice. I'm going to turn the heat on. We got some crushed red pepper flakes. We'll go with a good teaspoon. Alright. Worcestershire sauce, or what's this here sauce? We'll go with about a tablespoon. Brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar, light brown sugar. This happens to be dark brown sugar. We'll go with a heaping tablespoon plus a little more. I like mine just a bit sweet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take the rub we're using for our pulled pork, which is our killer hogs. We'll put a tablespoon of the killer hogs rub in there. Let's see. One more thing, and this is just for color. Shot of ketchup, okay? Just a shot. Less than a half a teaspoon probably. Boom. Shot of ketchup. Like I said, that's just for color. Alright. So I'll get me a little whisk. Whisk this up. Alright, I'm going to let this come to a boil. Then I'm going to shut it off and just let it cool. Alright, so that's it for the vinegar sauce. Very simple. Alright y'all, pork butts been resting, covered with a towel for about 3 hours or more. I got my vinegar sauce, made enough fit in two small ball jars. So let's see what we got, shall we? Let's get these towels off of here. And they're still warm. Oh my. That's a good looking pork butt right there. All right. Before I dig into this, let me get a photo. All right then. So I'm gonna get another pan here. Let me glove up. All right, see if this bone pulls out good and clean. There you go, look at that. That's what you're looking for right there, y'all. Clean bone. All right, let me get rid of this. So what I'll probably do, I'm not going to pull all of this. I'm going to save some of this. Here's the money muscle right here. I'll lay that in there, along with a little bit more. I'll put that to the side. All right. So we'll save this for another time. So I got another pan. I'm just going to lay this over here. And let's get this pulled. Look at this. All right. So I'll take this juice that's left over, pour it on there. All right, let me get a little plate. Let me get some bark, just like that. Some of the pulled pieces. All right. So we're gonna give this a little taste test. Let me get me a little plastic fork. All right. Let's go over here and taste this, y'all. All right, y'all. Here we go. Pulled pork barbecue right here. So we got the inside. Got some nice bark pieces. All right, so let's taste this. The inside piece. Y'all ready for this? Taste! Man, pit barrel done it, y'all. So now what I want to do, I'm take a little bit of the vinegar sauce, just a little bit. Okay. Give it a little mix, Ready? With vinegar sauce. Taste! Ma'am, That's like icing on the cake. All right, let's try this bark. Look at that bark. Beautiful, beautiful bark. Taste. Let me tell you what. Our pit barrel took about 6 hours, and that was all. We cooked it around 300 degrees. Most excellent. Pecan wood. And this Killer Hogs barbecue rub. This stuff come out really good. I like this stuff. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop using my Cosmos cube for this Killer Hogs. Good stuff, y'all. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a pit barrel, try this out. If you don't have a pit barrel, try it out too. Run your cooker about 275, 300. Guarantee. Bring it up to 165, a little bit more. Wrap it. Bring it up to about 207. Make sure probe tender. Beautiful pulled pork, y'all. Beautiful pulled pork. Look at that. One more time. One more time, y'all. Yes, indeed. Delicious. So if you enjoyed the video, leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget, more videos over here you can watch. If you haven't done it yet, click that subscribe. All right, y'all. See you next time. Bye, everybody.